Welcome to downtown BKeDSHoP. Come inside. Okay, so this was our first store, and I love this shop. It is the perfect size. It's 600 square feet, which makes the rent super affordable. I love the ceiling in this store. This is something that I've been replicating in all of my other stores that I can since then. The lighting is also really beautiful. The size is a little bit smaller, and I don't have the big donut case that I have at all the other shops yet. But it was a very good starting point for us. The things that I don't like about this store is going to be that right there. So the HVAC unit, we kind of went on the cheap with it and just did a recommendation for something that costs a few $1,000s, when really we should have done a full routing system. And since then we've had to repair it at least 3 times. So at the end of the day, once you think about what we spent on the repairs throughout the years, it would have made sense just to do it right from the beginning. But this store did cost me under $100,000 to build. There's no actual kitchen space here. It's just a retail location, but it is the absolute perfect size. And it is actually one of my favorite stores. So as you come back here, you can see it's really small. We actually store our donuts in speed racks underneath the counter. When I first built this counter, because downtown floods a lot, we wanted it to be mobile in case we ever had to lift it up in case of a flood. But they've actually fixed all of that problem downtown, so now it's just not fixed to the ground, which I'd prefer it to be fixed to the ground. It just looks better aesthetically. We had this 3-group espresso machine, and it's Rancilio, which I knew nothing about when we first bought, and it's actually a great machine. It's a power horse. I bought it used. I bought all of our espresso machines used, and they've actually turned out great. We've only had to do small maintenance things to them, and none of the repairs were ever more than $1,000. So when people are weighing the options of buying, say, like a brand new La Marzocco of over 20 grand, this machine itself just cost us $4,000, and I believe it to be a great investment. Went with a 3-group machine, which seems aggressive for your first store, but we knew the coffee was going to be huge. So because we do 3-shot large lattes, this is essential. I would not run a store without a 3-group machine. We have just a tiny sink here, which allows us to be DHEC certified, so we can do all of the preparation of boxing the donuts and selling it to the customer, but we don't actually do any of the dishes here. We send everything to our main production facility, and everything is DHEC approved because we are able to send the dishes back up there. Like the large sheet pans won't fit in here. We wash them all uptown. And that allows us to have this small retail facility with a reasonable rent in a great location downtown. All right, guys, welcome to Mount Pleasant. This is my newest store to date, so it has the most beautiful design that I've done as of yet. You can see that the ceiling is very similar to our downtown location. I actually had the same person do that. We have a small plant area here, similar to Nexton, but a better size, I think. The layout of this store is just absolutely perfect, in my opinion. There's not a whole lot that I would change about it. The wood bench, the sconces, the chairs, the gold tables, the plants, it's all exactly how I would envision a new store to be moving forward. I also really love the pastry case that we added here. We don't display the donuts on the counter like we do at the other 2 stores, and I think that it's perfect for kids to be able to really see the product that we make. We do have a green espresso machine here, which I truly, truly love. It's another one of those Rancilios that I talked about, and I think it's really a staple piece. It faces the customers, which is different than all of our other stores. But again, it's a super functional store. It's the only one that has a beautiful sofa. We have plenty of space for lots of kids and families to hang out in. This is truly the store that I'm using to model all of our future openings from. Just as long as the space is kind of relatively similar, I think I would like to try to keep the same design. It's pretty simple and pretty useful. All right, guys, welcome to Nexton. This is going to be our largest production facility store. So it is 3,000 square feet and it houses all of our bakery operation, and it is our biggest store. We created this store with giant soaring ceilings, which we have this giant room in here that initially we wanted to use as like a cooking demo room, but now post-COVID we decided to put plants in there, and that's how kind of the whole plant idea was born. This is going to be the front of house area and a coffee station. We went ahead and did this tile as part of a second renovation a couple years after we opened, and honestly I love the way everything came out. So this is going to be the back of the house of our Nexton store. This is the only store that I have a production facility. So right now we operate kind of like a commissary style business model, where I have this store that essentially feeds all of the other stores their product, which is really good because it helps me save money during build outs. I only have to build out one kitchen with a hood system and everything in the back. So to me is the smartest way to be able to run this style or this business model most efficiently. So we can start looking over here. This is the hood system that I installed when we first opened in 2020. I knew that we were going to expand, and I knew that I wanted to use this store as like the mother store for all the other stores. So it's actually big enough to fit 2 fryers. We've gotten creative along the years, and now we do bagels, and so I have a flat top here, but I still, if I reorganize things slightly, I can fit another one of these big fryers. This is one of the best investments that I've made when I started to grow my donut shop business model, because you're able to drop these giant fry racks that hold 24 donuts all at one time without actually touching any of the product, and then lift it all up at once. So this is a very specific piece of equipment that's just for donut frying that makes this business super efficient. So I really love these, and I'm gonna buy one more and put it right here. So looking over here, we actually recently updated some of our equipment because we are getting ready to open our other store in Shadow Moss. So we have 4 ovens now. So you're gonna see ovens here and ovens here. That's gonna be able to help us be quicker at baking off all of our product in the morning, because the only challenge of having a one production facility store is that you do have to have all of your product done at a certain time so that it can be delivered to the other stores. So right now, all of our product needs to be done by 5:15 in the morning, so that requires us to be really efficient with how quick we make the product and bake it. So that's why we kind of had to upgrade our equipment to be able to do that. Over here you can see we have all different mixers. I've actually outgrown anything smaller than a 30 quart, so these are my 30 quart mixers over here. This guy's gonna be an 80, and this is a 60. I have never bought a brand new mixer ever, but I only buy Hobarts, and I find that they are workhorses. I've actually only had to maintenance the oil on them and maybe called in a technician a couple of times on little things, but I've never paid too much money to fix them. So I feel confident in buying used mixers, and I definitely recommend it if it's something that you are thinking about doing with a new bakery. This is gonna be a piece of equipment that I actually bought, and I wasn't really sure if I was gonna use it a lot in the beginning because we had just started making cinnamon rolls, so that wasn't a huge popular item yet. But now I actually roll out all of my donut dough on it, and I do all of our cinnamon/bun production. So this thing is being used nonstop. It's called a sheeter, and it's the Rondo brand. So you can kind of still see here that it's like the Swiss brand called Rondo. And the first time that I ever had it fixed, somebody opened up the bottom part and they found a sticker that said it was from 1960. So when I bought this piece of equipment, I knew that a brand new one was somewhere in the $70,000 range. So I saw this one for $4,000 on eBay, and I took a chance with it. And even though right now I can't really buy any replacement parts because it's so old, it is literally the strongest working piece of equipment in this store. It rolls out all of our dough for us, so it really saves time, and it's super efficient, and I love it.
Okay, so coming back over here, you can see we actually have 2 walk-in coolers, which I actually just upgraded to getting 2 with the Shadow Moss opening. The reason why I decided to upgrade to 2 coolers instead of getting 1 big one, because that was something me and my partner talked about, possibly selling the old one and getting 1 big one. But we actually had an incident this summer where our cooler went down and we had to, it was a nightmare. We had to use outside cooler storage to be able to continue opening our shops. We couldn't sell pretzels for 3 weeks. It was a horrible, horrible ordeal just because the part was something that you had to be special ordered and it was on back order. So when we decided to upgrade the cooler system, we said, forget about it. We're not gonna sell this cooler and get 1 big one. We're gonna have 2 just in case one of them ever goes down. We can still function and operate by just filling up 1 cooler entirely with our product. That is something that I think is gonna be super smart in the future, and it's something that you would wanna consider if you're doing massive production out of 1 store.